Good evening to you, bro.
Good evening.
How you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
All right, as you can see, Chelsea could not even score a goal in this match. And so I would like to ask you, what are your thoughts on this fixture today?
It shows that Chelsea will not be relegated. That's the good news. You know, Chelsea has played 5 games, and out of the 5 games, they've gotten 5 points. Meaning that in a league of 38 games, if you can be able to have 1 point per game, we are talking about 38 points at the end of the season, you will avoid relegation. So that means well, because the 1 billion that they've spent can give you one point per 1 billion. So for every 1 point they get, man, it makes sense that they will not be relegated.
So, what are some of the issues you saw in this match? What difficulty do you think Chelsea actually faced in this game?
Well, I saw the last running up and down, not having that cohesion, not having that a system to play with. I think it was a very difficult time for Chelsea out there, and some of the players out there too. I feel pain for somebody like Jackson because of look at the chance that he got, but what happened? He ballooned the ball up in the air. What about Mudryk? Mudryk has 0 goals in 21 games. That is so sad. Okay, coming into Chelsea, and Arsenal fans will be they will be so happy that they were unable to get this guy, because you know the fight was just too tough between the two teams, and at the end of the day he went to Chelsea, and look at the outcome now. And it's just so pitiful for the young lads out there.
All right. What do you feel Pochettino needs to do? Because this is a very serious matter in Chelsea, and obviously this is a bad result for them. That's frankly speaking, this is a bad result for them. So what do you think Pochettino has to do to correct these issues? Because Chelsea right now, they are not living up to expectation. What do you think the coach needs to do moving forward?
On a lighter note, Pochettino and Todd Boehly should go and beg Abramovich, because it seems that the oracle that he left at Chelsea is doing his bidding. Come on, 5 games, 5 points. Might now turn out to 38 games, 38 points. So, but on a stronger note, you find out that he needs to work with these guys. Maybe they are not working enough. But also, if you look at the game, you find out that these guys were looking more fatigued. And you ask the question, 2 weeks ago, that was the last time they played real football. So why would you feel so tired? You don't have Champions League to play like other top teams in Europe that will be playing. Sorry, I have to call them. You know what I'm talking about. So why then being tired? Okay, it's not like you're going to face the next opposition will be so fierce. Yes, but by next weekend it might just also be not a good one for Chelsea. Yes, they will be at home, but they'll be facing Aston Villa. Come on, if they cannot beat Bournemouth, it does not make sense. And look at the only win they've gotten for this season is beating Luton Town. Luton Town that sits at the bottom of the table at 20th position. That's the only team you've beaten. It does not go well for Chelsea. Chelsea is the pride of London, okay? But look at what is happening. They are dragging spaces with Manchester United. Last 2 weeks, Manchester United were at 11 points. They were at 12. Right now, as we are talking right now, Manchester United 12, Chelsea right behind them at 13 points. It does not make sense.
Too bad.
At 14 points rather, 13 and 14 points.
Yes. Going forward, do you feel, you were saying something about fatigue earlier on. You just forget that they just came out from international break. Don't you think that was a factor in this game too?
How many of their top players, how many of them were really involved with the international break? They are not like Arsenal or Manchester City that everybody made the trip. What about persons like Gallagher? Those guys, we are not active. Okay, so it's really not a big excuse. But I also need to point out persons like Sterling and Gusto. That's right flank. I think they did moderately well, but unfortunately, the chances that were created did not turn into goals. So that was a sad one for them.
Now, talking about the caliber of Chelsea players, one would really be wondering why a team went for so much talent like that and didn't go for experience. Do you think that if Chelsea had decided to mix experience with a little bit of maybe young players, do you think that the case would be different in this situation?
Yes, I do think so. If you check out Manchester City, if you check out Arsenal, sorry I'm using those two clubs because, they are doing so well. You find out that, look at what happened in Arsenal. For the fact that Partey wanted to leave, okay, but Xhaka had already left. So you find out the middle where these commands come from, the fulcrum of the team. Arsenal made sure that at least let that mature person be around. Unfortunately, yes, Partey is injured, but you still have him in the dressing room. But for Chelsea, it's like a new island for these guys. They don't have anybody pushing them. Remember the days of John Terry. Come on, the days of Lampard. You had people, they were steadily pushing the team. There was this cohesion. But unfortunately, it was like they rang a bell and everybody left Chelsea. And what then happened? Chelsea were just so panic buying. I've mentioned it so in many episodes. Chelsea were just panic buying. Look at Palmer. Why would you spend £45 million on Palmer? Come on, it does not make sense. Somebody that wanted to leave the club, there was a big green light showing that this guy wants to leave the club. Why then spend £45 million on somebody that has not, for me, Palmer has not been tested? Yes, he has been with Manchester City, but he hasn't gotten game time. And you're spending 45 million. So you find out that the 1 billion that was spent, most part of that money was being spent recklessly and in panic mode.
All right. Finally, so I would like to ask you, talking about Jackson of Chelsea, do you really think that that kid is getting the needed support in it? Because obviously, Christopher Nkunku, who has been on injury, obviously, if he was around, I believe Jackson. But do you really think that that absence of Nkunku, somebody who Jackson will work with, do you believe that that's what is affecting his performance currently in Chelsea?
Does it really matter? You are up there. What about other players that go to the midfield, move the ball, come to score from the midfield? You have the chance. This is your chance to. You know the Chelsea that we are talking about. If he messes up the entire season, he'll be gone. He'll be gone by next year. So this is a chance for him. He should not be saying, okay, there is nobody. You still have people like Gallagher. What about the chances that he missed today? Okay, it should be a time that once you get one chance, in fact, at least go on target, hit the ball to the target, and not just throwing balls away. Come on, this is the Premier League. So fast, you have defenders everywhere around you. You just need to make your mark, because a club like Chelsea does not have patience for you.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you.